Mr. Chairman, I rise today in support of my amendment directing the United States Environmental Protection Agency to enter into an agreement with the National Academy of Sciences to perform a comprehensive review of non-mercury hazardous air pollutants emitted by electric generating units and industrial boilers. Recognizing the boiler maximum achievable control technology called MACT is moving toward the end of the rulemaking process, while the utility MACT will debut soon. My amendment requires that the review provide for health and economic data, including impacts on job creation, energy price, supply, and reliability associated with the potential regulation of non-mercury hazardous air pollutants. The Clean Air Act regulates two kinds of air emissions: criteria pollutants, which are high in volume, and hazardous air pollutants, which are low in volume but can be toxic. Folks are familiar with the most noteworthy of the hazardous air pollutants for utilities and industrial boilers, mercury. Let me be clear, my amendment does nothing to affect mercury controls. The amendment focuses only on those hazardous air pollutants other than mercury. EPA simply fails to do all the necessary homework when it comes to potential regulation of hazardous air pollutants other than mercury. This amendment asks the National Academy of Sciences to assist EPA in doing its homework and encourages EPA to listen and encourages EPA to learn. This will assist EPA in establishing a clear and direct administrative record for non-mercury hazardous air pollutants. And without adequate study, regulations in this area could place jobs and economic output at risk while threatening household budgets. The power sector faces an avalanche of regulations from EPA, and it's important to get each of them right and correct. A recent executive order laid out a new review process for regulations and asked that the agencies consider cost and how best to reduce burdens for American businesses and consumers. The amendment echoes the need for responsible regulations that protect health and environment, but also provide for reasonable rates and dates. The EPA maximum achievable control technology rule for industrial, commercial, and institutional boilers and process heaters could impose tens of billions of dollars in capital costs at thousands of facilities across the country. I, along with a large number of my colleagues, sent a letter to EPA Administrator Lisa Jackson expressing our concerns with the proposed rule. It's my understanding that although the boiler MACT rule will come out later this week, upon reconsideration of the rule, the information gathered by the review required under this amendment may be useful. I remain concerned as EPA moves toward a utility MACT rule. Logically, I bring this amendment to the floor today to protect a simple way of thinking. The government should not regulate without sound science to back it up. Let's remind EPA to slow down and allow for reasoning along with regulation. I yield back.